What's up, YouTube? So, I've witnessed the worst tennis lesson ever. Stick around in this video and I'm going to share with you 3 red flags what to look out for when hiring a tennis coach. Red flag number 3 is absolutely shocking. So, part of my job as a coach educator is to go around lots of different tennis clubs and run coach education courses. During those courses, I get some downtime and I get to watch other coaches work. And I watched a coach recently who is absolutely appalling. They are a qualified coach, they're a very experienced coach, and in their lesson, they delivered 3 red flags that would definitely concern me if I was a tennis player or a tennis parent. Red flag number 1, basket feeding. This coach loved their basket, and I don't just mean for the technical part of the session or the teaching part of the session. They basket fed the warm-up, they basket fed the teaching part of the lesson, they basket fed the serving part of the lesson, and they didn't even play any points. For the whole lesson, this coach did not hit the ball back once to the player. This player may as well have gone to hit against a practice wall for a full hour, because then at least the ball would come back based on the shot they hit. By just hitting these random shots into open space, the player had no real feedback on the quality or the effectiveness of their shot. I'm all for basket feeding in certain situations, but for an entire session, it was absolutely appalling. Red flag number 2 was technical overload. Oh my God, this coach talked for the full hour. To be fair, the player got a lot of content. The player got, I reckon, about 25 teaching points in the 60 minutes. The problem with that is it's just far too much information. A good coach will give you 1 teaching point, possibly 2 in an hour's lesson. 2 things that you really need to hone in and work on. The problem was this coach had no idea what the player needs to improve. They were just shouting out random bits of technical information just so they sounded good, just so they sounded like they knew what they were talking about. They were talking about grips, contact point, path of the racket, speed of the racket, but at no point did they tell the player why. There was no tactical input. They were just telling them how to hit a tennis ball. If you've been on my channel before, you will know I will bark on about tennis is tactical and technical. You can't separate the 2 things. We don't score points for how we look. But this coach was so obsessed with technique, and they spent the full session improving forehands, backhands, serves, all the shots. They didn't just focus on one thing. They just tried to give the player the whole spectrum in 1 hour, which the player probably feels they're getting good value for money, but they're not making any improvement. They're not spending any real quality time honing down on the technical issue that may be breaking it down. This coach was just spouting off fluff to make them sound good. Now, before we get into red flag number 3, if you have found some value in this video, please do me a huge favor. Smash that like button. It really helps the video get out to more players and parents. If you're new to the channel and would like some more tennis coaching advice, tennis coaching drills, or general tennis content, please feel free to subscribe. Red flag number 3 was absolutely appalling. This coach sat down for the last 10 minutes of the lesson. The coach gave the player a basket of balls. The player moved across to the baseline. They started hitting serves. The coach then took themselves and moved across to the net post and sat down. The coach then continued to give coaching advice, more technical advice, but from the angle the coach was sitting, they couldn't actually see if it was right or wrong. Again, another clear sign this coach was just shouting out random bits of information to try and justify the client paying them some money. What are your red flags? Please feel free to leave down in the comments any red flags that you may have when spotting poor coaching. Until next time, I'll see you soon.